June 19th, 2015. The Trials of Osiris map for the weekend was Theive's Den, a map that isn't actually in Destiny 2. This was the first time I had ever gone flawless and made it to the lighthouse. I was in middle school and it was one of the coolest experiences I had ever had in a video game. It has now been 7 years since this happened, and I'm still trying to go a second time. My two most reliable Crucible friends aren't really playing the game anymore, so I was all on my own solo queuing, and hope was beginning to fade. This was until luck swindled in my favor, and I completed a run of Vault of Glass a few weeks ago, upon which I was rewarded with my favorite weapon in all of Destiny, Vex Mythoclast. After being reunited with the Mythoclast, I decided that if I was gonna go flawless again, it would be with this gun. No matter how tempting the meta was, I wanted to do this my way. I jumped on into Trials, and like I said, I really didn't want to use the meta, so I put on the Laurel Splendor. Saint didn't like this very much, so I took it off, and then he began to believe in me. At one point, I even swatted a grenade out of the air with my own grenade. I wanted to go flawless on Mercury so bad, the place where it all began, though unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be. Next week was Exodus Blue. I know it's not very popular, but I actually really like it. My performance varied heavily. Some games I would do exceptionally well, others not so much. Multiple times I would reach 6 wins and have a soul-crushing 7th game, but I was dedicated at this point. After reaching 6 wins 3 times, I thought about how close I kept getting and that surely it will happen at some point. It was then that Cross uploaded a video highlighting the solo Trials experience and how going flawless was seemingly impossible. Cross is a much better player than I am, so my morale kind of sunk a bit after that. However, I tried my best to push that aside and keep going. Towards the end of the weekend, I enlisted the help of my friend Stecky.
It's a hard life.
We had a dream together, and I told him, if I'm going flawless, it's gonna be with Vex, to which we began reciting Martin Luther King's iconic speech. I'm not kidding. Like a true titan, I punched the shit out of the enemy team and made Saint extremely proud. I kept losing, then winning, then losing, and going back in for more. The game mode was Zone Trials, which definitely isn't for everyone, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like, because if a game mode isn't for everyone, it's not a game mode that should be made in my opinion. Every time, Lay Monarch, Jotun, Night Stalker, Invis Hunters, this shit. But then, things started to change. I'd made it to 5 wins without losing my Mercy. The time was 12:41 p.m. on Tuesday. I didn't have long before reset. We loaded in, had a bit of a sloppy first round, and Mercy gone. It's okay, I tell myself. That was just the world's way of telling me that that wasn't my match. I loaded into my 5th game again, and try as we may, the other team was just better. I didn't know how to feel at this point. Was I never gonna see the lighthouse again? Was it my destiny to lose? However, then, something happened. Next week's map was Dead Cliffs. I had some moments, but ultimately it just wasn't working out. My performance was comparable to that of Wave Splitter. My ever-fluctuating performance aside, Dune Marchers proved to be an amazing exotic pick for me. Guardian Games came around, and with it came an opportunity. The opportunity for my Vex to ascend to a class of its own. I was pumped. Trials came back, this time on Altar of Flame. With a new suit of armor and Vex perfected, I flew back down to the surface of Mercury to begin again. We started off strong. I kept wrestling between a sniper or a shotgun and ultimately settled on the shotgun. 2, 3, 5 wins, and before we knew it, we were back at the 7th game. The home stretch, the finish line, the end game. Palms were sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Vomit on my sweater already. Saint Spaghetti. I was nervous. I held tight to my Mythoclast. I'd fallen at the gates of the lighthouse before, and this could be no different. The first 3 rounds were ours, some risky plays and close duels, heavy round. We lost, and before I knew it, we were tied, 3-3. Like Neo, I dodged a fusion rifle blast and served the Warlock a hot bowl of Saint Spaghetti as we secured the 4th round. We can't get too comfortable because things were about to get chaotic. Not even 10 seconds into the 4th round, and one of the enemy team's hunters activated spectral blades right in front of me. I can count on 3 fingers the amount of times I've killed a Spectral Blades hunter and lived. This was the 3rd. Poor guy didn't even see it coming, which is ironic because he was invisible. To be honest, I don't even know how I lived. I hadn't used my Mercy on this card yet. Maybe this was it. I don't have footage, but in that same round, the enemy Warlock dropped a Nova Bomb on us, bringing the score to match f***ing point. The only super they had left was a Mobius Quiver Shadow Shot, which we immediately eliminated. My teammate ignited into a Hammer of Soul super and chased the other hunter around the map. Like most hunters, this guy was slippery. We get another kill, he trades with our Loreley Titan. We get the revive, and it's a 3v1. For a moment I thought about using my Ward of Dawn, but the idea left my head in favor of settling this the old-fashioned way. Like any good Western, I pulled out my solar-powered alien gun, and the rest was history.
The match is yours. Celebrate. I will join you.
Seven sweaty years later, and it finally happened, the way I would have wanted it to. Mythoclast in hand, I stayed for a long time just appreciating the lighthouse. It may be a simulation, but that didn't make it feel any less real. Saint 14 gave me my rewards, and it was the most satisfying explosion of loot I'd ever seen. Honestly though, I didn't even care what I got. This was a goddamn journey, and making it back to the top with my favorite weapon in all of Destiny, that's the way I wanted to do it. Destiny is at its most fun when you really appreciate the game and the experience you're having. I know it's a looter shooter and we all want the best guns, armor, and abilities in the game, but finding enjoyment and personality amongst the chaos is what makes Destiny fun for me. We don't always get things on the first, second, or even third try, so try and just enjoy the process, the game, and the shared experiences with other Guardians. That's the way Destiny was meant to be enjoyed.